HHS Secretary RFK Jr. calling on FDA Commissioner Marty Makary to review the latest data on abortion drugs after 6 pro-life medical groups wrote a letter saying, quote, mifepristone is a high-risk abortion-inducing drug that is known to cause serious adverse effects and medical emergencies, including hemorrhage, sepsis, and incomplete abortions requiring surgical intervention. Joining me now is Dr. Susan Bain. She's the vice chair of the American Association of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists Board of Directors, one of the organizations that is behind this letter. Doctor, I'm so glad to have you on this morning. It's so important because we don't hear a lot about mifepristone. So let our viewers understand why you believe this drug is very dangerous and should be regulated.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Of course.
You know, on July 8th, 6 medical organizations representing approximately 30,000 medical professionals who are passionate about providing excellent and evidence-based medicine, we did write a letter to Secretary Kennedy and FDA Commissioner Dr. Makary. And that letter was calling out a need to focus on an urgent public health crisis of unregulated abortion drugs. You know, in our country, approximately 60% of abortions now are induced using these drugs. And one of them is mifepristone. And mifepristone is a dangerous and high-risk drug. A recent report, or 2 recent reports that came out, show that the risk for serious adverse events is about 1 in 9 women. And my colleagues who cover the emergency department, they're seeing these risks. They're seeing hemorrhage so severe that women need transfusions. Women need emergency surgery. I see women in the outpatient clinic. All my patients have unplanned pregnancies in the 4 pregnancy centers I see. And when they decide to go have an abortion, the stories they share are horrific. They come back and they say that in the abortion clinics, they don't get an individualized informed consent. They're in a room with 20 women and they can't ask questions. They tell me that they're told that it'll be a little worse than a period, when in reality, the ones who've had children before say, I felt like I was in labor again and I'm at home. These women have no ongoing medical care. They're at home in their dorms, their bathrooms, their apartments, and they're delivering babies sometimes the size of the palm of their hand. It's horrific substandard care.
No, there's no question about it. And the numbers may be higher because I interviewed a former Planned Parenthood abortion director, and she's told me that they were told, she as a director was told, that they told the patients if they had an episode or some sort of hemorrhaging, to call emergency and to say that they were having a miscarriage. So we don't even really know how many are from mifepristone because the numbers are not clear. And you talk about the emotional and psychological impact as well of having, you know, to deliver a baby on your own, not understanding exactly what the consequences are. Well, we really hope that RFK looks into this, and Marty Makary as well. Your last thoughts on what you want, because these are provided by mail to children and people who are underage as well.
Yeah, anybody can get access to these. They can go online, they can lie, they can say who they are. We're hearing story after story of women being pressured and coerced, where people are actually ordering them and forcing them to take them. I recently had a patient call who wanted to stop her abortion because a man did that to her. And I was able to prescribe her progesterone back, and because mifepristone blocks progesterone, and she's pregnant now. And so what we really want from the FDA is the recent data to be a signal to them to protect women and to look at the safety of these drugs.
Yeah. The horror stories often are on TikTok, where women are telling their stories of what has happened to them from taking these abortion drugs at home. Doctor, we really appreciate you joining us and telling us more about this, and we hope that your letter gets a response. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
More than 20 Republican attorneys general are demanding that the Trump administration reinstate safety protocols for the abortion drug mifepristone, saying it poses serious risks to women. In a letter obtained by Fox News, 22 attorneys general called on Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Food and Drugs Administration head Martin Makary to bring back safeguards for the pills that were scrapped by the Obama and Biden administrations. Recent comprehensive studies of the real-world effects of the chemical abortion drug mifepristone report that serious adverse events occurred 22 times more often than stated on the drug's label, while the drug is less than half as effective as claimed. These facts directly contradict the drug's primary marketing message of safe and effective. The letter reads, citing studies published earlier this year by the Ethics and Public Policy Center, a Washington, D.C.-based advocacy group. The EPA report claims the pill presents harm to women, causing 1 in 10 patients to experience a serious adverse event, including hemorrhage, emergency room visits, and ectopic pregnancy. The letter, led by Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach, comes after Kennedy Jr. asked Makary to review the latest data on mifepristone and its safety. Based on that review, the FDA should consider reinstating safety protocols that it identified as necessary as recently as 2011 in its issuance of a Risk Evaluation and Mitigation Strategy, REMS for mifepristone, but which were removed by the Obama and Biden administrations, the letter reads, adding that the drug should be taken off the market if safeguards cannot be put in place. Alternatively, in light of the serious risks to women who are presently being prescribed this drug without crucial safeguards, and in the event the FDA is unable to reinstate the 2011 safety protocols for mifepristone, the FDA should consider withdrawing mifepristone from the market until it completes its review and can decide on a course of action based on objective safety and efficacy criteria, the attorneys general wrote. Senator Josh Hawley, R. Missouri, also sent a letter to Kennedy Jr. last month urging him to take immediate action to reinstate safety guardrails on mifepristone, following the Secretary's commitment to conducting a safety review of the drug. Makary had previously said that he had no plans to modify policies surrounding mifepristone, but that the FDA would act if the data suggested there was a safety issue. Mifepristone, which is taken with another drug called misoprostol to end an early pregnancy, was first approved by the FDA in 2000, after a thorough and comprehensive review, found it was safe and effective, according to the agency's website, which noted that periodic reviews since its approval have not identified new safety concerns. Last year, the Supreme Court rejected a challenge targeting the drug's availability. The plaintiffs had sought to restrict access to mifepristone across the country, including in Democrat-led states where abortion remains legal. The court did not rule on whether the FDA acted lawfully when it moved during the Obama and Biden administrations to ease the rules for mifepristone's use that had been established during the Clinton administration. Medication abortions made up more than half of all abortions in the U.S. healthcare system in 2023, according to a study by the Guttmacher Institute. Currently, a woman can obtain a mifepristone abortion by participating in only one telehealth visit with any approved healthcare provider, not necessarily a physician, ordering the drugs through a mail-order pharmacy, and self-administering them, the attorneys general wrote. And the prescriber is only required to report an adverse event if he or she becomes aware that the patient has died. The FDA's removal of these crucial safety protocols in 2016 and in 2023, that only 5 years before the FDA considered necessary, begs the question of whether the removal was motivated by considerations other than the safety of patients. The current FDA's dedication to the health and well-being of all Americans is encouraging, as is the much-needed review of mifepristone that Secretary Kennedy has promised, the letter concludes.